So in 2001 or 2002, the Peace Network in Southeast Connecticut got reinvigorated, thanks to awful things happening like, 9/11 and the invasion of Iraq. So the Green Party was, clearly part of this network, and it was called and still is a Southeast Connecticut Peace and Justice Network. And there was kind of a schism in this network between the old, people like me, old white hippies who have been anti-war like since the 60s and were more oriented towards the peace side. But then there were the younger members of our community, people of color, who really felt strongly that we had to be just as focused on the justice side of things, because no peace if there's no justice. And at the time, the Green Party, in 2004, the Green Party of Connecticut when we still have a public access program, and being kind of part of the peace group in 2000, this was late 2004, I asked some of these younger members if they wanted to be on the public access program to talk a little bit about the importance of justice reform in Connecticut. And there were a few of them, but each of them had a reason why they couldn't be on public access TV. One had health issues, one was was employed with the state of Connecticut in one of the women's prisons and couldn't go on record. So I kind of did an internet search and on like criminal justice reform Connecticut. So I'm going to share my screen and show what I found. So I found this website, Efficacy, where as an efficacy is the power to produce a desired effect. The effect we wish to produce is peace. So I wrote an email to Mr. and Mrs. Thornton and said, the Green Party in New London has this public access show. Would you like to talk about drug policy? And about 10 minutes later, I got an email from Cliff Thornton, who I'd never met, who said something like, Rana, what timing you have? Tonight, I'm traveling to New Haven to talk to them about the possibility of my being the 2006 gubernatorial candidate for the Green Party on a drug policy platform. So he couldn't be on the show the date I asked. He could because there was a conference in Bridgeport the day that I wanted him to come. But a friend and I went to the conference and we met Cliff, and kind of the rest was history. And we had been hoping that Ken Krajewski would be able to speak. He was Cliff's campaign manager. But I have to say, looking at this campaign, it was 2006, so it was 17 years ago. If you look at the platform on criminal justice reform, include especially drug policy, on energy, Cliff, when he was on my public access show, someone called in and was complaining about high gas prices. And Cliff said, well, to be honest, until it goes up to $15 a gallon, no one's going to change their driving habits. And so we had hoped that Cliff would be able to, speak himself at this event. But, because he was our first Green Party gubernatorial candidate, and because he was so, just sort of a pioneer in bringing some of these issues to the public to the extent he could, because he was excluded from pretty much all of the debates. And he really didn't get the press coverage that the major party candidates got routinely. I think the other candidates in that election were Jody Rell and John DeStefano. Um, but in terms of his platform, maintaining the state infrastructure and justice reform and energy, alternative energy, and it really, was a defining moment for me for the Green Party in Connecticut. And so when we thought about having this panel on drug policy, we had in mind sort of, prolonging or keeping Cliff's message alive, through the next couple decades, because it's actually just as relevant and needed now as it was.